The scary way China is fueling the drug epidemic in America. Let's get into it.
And he would like take his break, he'd go outside, smoke his cigarette, like eat whatever something he brought, and then he would go.
How do, going back to the labs though, how do the Sinaloa guys who are all coming from Mexico, how do they recruit mules, Canadian mules? Like, do you know anything about that?
So what I gathered from speaking with them, it's basically just, you know, these guys
Monster.com.
Oh my God. You know, they actually just put it up on Craigslist.
Come on.
I'm fucking with you.
Okay. Fuck. You have a really good, like, I'm not fucking with you face. You really do. You
I don't think so. I feel like I'm like outwardly facetious about it, but
no. Maybe it's I'm still getting over being sick today, so I'm a little slower, but still, it's a pretty good face.
I think so. What I gathered is basically like these guys, they'll party and stuff like that. And like a lot of them have like Canadian girlfriends and stuff. So it'll be like knowing someone through someone. Right. Oh, and hey, my aunt, she needs money, and like, what can we do? Because I always see you have a ton of cash, and I always see you balling out at the club. So literally that's how it starts. And then it's like, all right, I'll give her $5,000 if she does this. That's not a real number. I'm just like throwing that out there. Yeah. If she does this for me twice or whatever. Okay, great. And then, oh, you know what? So now this aunt is like, my neighbor, like, he's like down with like on money, and you know what, he's an alcoholic and he needs this and blah 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 blah. Like, it's, from what I gathered from what they were telling me, there usually seems to be kind of like a sob story behind it. Like it is someone who is just down on their luck or is having a hard time. And so that's, I think it's through connections, like the network. They should like make a LinkedIn for these people.
Yeah, seriously, make the FBI's job easier. But you said that some of these, I think you call them cooks, right? You said they're bringing them in from Asia?
Yeah.
And they come in for like 6 months and they teach them.
Yeah.
I presume a lot of that's probably China.
Yeah, it's all China.
Yeah. So did you ever hear the book Fentanyl Inc.
No.
by Ben Westhoff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this guy, there was a Joe Rogan podcast with him about 5-6 years ago. I think it was 2019, where he explained the story of how he came into reporting on all this. It was really quite amazing reporting he did. And so he was like a culture reporter, like a music reporter. Mm-hmm. So nothing to do with fentanyl. And something happened where he was assigned this feature story. He's working on it, totally about something else. And one of the sources he's talking with just offhand mentions about all the fentanyl. He's like, and he hadn't really heard much about it. He goes, oh, yeah, what's going on there? And the guy starts explaining it to him, and he's like, holy shit. And he keeps asking all these questions, and then he's like, oh, my God, like, this is a story. We got to do this. Long story short, it turns into this book, Fentanyl Inc. And this guy, who is obviously a savage, decides, you know what? No protection, no nothing. I'm going to fly over to Asia and see how easy it is to buy fentanyl. And he literally flew into China, went to, I don't know, one of the big labs or whatever, like companies doing this, and said, yeah, I'll take like 100 acre, whatever it is, you know, I'll take 1,000 pounds, whatever. And the guy's like, yeah. I told you, I'm feeling a little slow today. But like he's like
kilo, perhaps.
It's like I'll take
100 acres of fentanyl.
I'll take a few kilos. And the guy's like, yeah, you want that in a package or you want me to mail it to you? Mm-hmm. And it's wild because they've now partnered, long since partnered, obviously, this is what you're reporting on, but like
with the cartel.
Yeah.
And it's completely like localized the problem, because now like the fentanyl doesn't come from China.
Yeah.
It's being made here.
Crazy. Yeah.
And it was crazy when Buddy was like literally telling me about, like we didn't understand. We didn't even talk. And he would like take his break, he'd go outside, smoke his cigarette, like eat whatever something he brought, and then he would go.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of the stuff that like Jorge is reporting on with the border, I'll put a pin on it, but like with the China,
I saw, and like the people coming in with the fancy clothes, right? They're coming in from China, they're crossing the Mexican border in Montclair, and like,
yeah, it's crazy,
cozy,
very, very, and like the route the organization of getting them here is wild.
Yeah,
you know, it's impossible to say where it's coming from, but it's also probable to say it's coming from the very top over there, mm-hmm. and there's espionage linked to it. It's just very, very scary.
I would not doubt it at all. It's almost too obvious to be critical about it. Like, it's just, you're telling me that, like, this cook is just coming in here and teaching people how to make this drug that kills thousands of people, and then he's like, all right, goodbye.
On his own accord.
And then never see him again. And then now no more fentanyl is coming from China, and it's all being made here, and it's all being dispersed through Canada and the United States.
It's the opium war.
China is really, really smart, because they basically trying to just make us weak as they possibly can. Because, like, think about it. They, like, if they kill as many people as they can, they could just come over here and low-key take over. Like, think about it.
On us at this point. I mean, it's hard to deny that.
Way too many casualties.
Oh, yeah. Now, down in Mexico, not in Canada, but in Mexico, have you come across any, like, Chinese cartel presence?
No.
Do you think that's just because it's very well covered?
I think it's because if there is any sort of agenda with Chinese bringing this in, it's focused on the United States and Canada.
Yeah. Okay.
And the Mexican cartels, like, they don't want fentanyl in the streets anymore. It was killing too many people. And for certain local factions, that makes them, like, kind of all their money. So they don't want those clients to die. There's actually, like, when I was in Tijuana, there's this nurse, and he goes around and he, like, provides like clean syringes and, like, medical care if, like, people have wounds, and condoms and STD tests. And the cartel fully leaves him alone. Why? Because he is keeping their clientele alive and healthy. And, like, there were people I saw someone with literally, like, his whole skull was out. So, like, he had a wound. Like, I don't know how he incurred it, but it grew, like, and he would, like, pick at it, and his whole skull was out. Like, even, like, around, like, his brow bone, like, the whole bone. And then he's shooting up with fucking puddle water, like, from the dirty ground.
Oh, God. It's worse than Kensington.
It's so bad.
It is.
And then, like, the dichotomy of, like, you see that, and then in Mexico, like, disappeared people is a huge problem. There's so many people who have disappeared. Yeah. It's like, you just go, and then there's, like, a wall of, like, 100 people. Have you seen me? And it's, like, men, women, young, old. And when we were down there reporting, actually, there was this woman, and she starts walking down the street. She comes walking down the street, and she's wearing her jacket, and it's, like, early in the morning, and you can tell she looks kind of nervous. She's kind of bundled up, and she's looking around, and she makes eye contact with me, because obviously I look like an outsider there. And she comes up, and she's like, hey, are you not, like, is it safe to be here? And I'm like, look, like, I'm okay, and I've been here a bit, but, like, what is your goal being down here? Like, what do you mean? Like, it was just so out of the blue. She just comes up to me, but she just seemed kind of scared. And she's like, it's because my brother is missing. So I thought I'd just come down here to look for him and look around. My daughter thinks that she may have saw him. So I just thought, I'd come look. Man, that shit it was so fucking sad.
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
Like, one thing is your brother gets murdered and you find the body and whatever, but you just don't know.
You don't know. Watching the video, guys.
Man, that is actually insane. But like I said, China's really, really smart for that, but it's obvious what they're doing. They're just trying to pick people off little by little, but, well, not little by little, because there's thousands of people dying damn near every month from fentanyl overdose. They know exactly what they're doing, and it's like they're doing it right in front of our faces, and nothing's being really done to stop it. You dig what I'm saying? Appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I'm going to catch y'all next video. I'm gone.